You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You're exactly where you need to be. And I know I may not feel that way a lot of the times in those moments, but I promise you are going to have a moment, sometime in the future where you will have that full circle moment. You will have that full circle experience where you go, oh, that's why I had to go through that. That's why I went through that. This is what I learned from that. And you will go to learn the same way as you are right now in this present moment, that if it weren't for those times and those lows, that you wouldn't have the wisdom that you do have now and will have again in the future. You can't mess up. You really can't. Like, it's so interesting because as humans, we're so fearful of taking the wrong step, doing the wrong thing, screwing up, making it all over for us. And that applies to anything in life. And the truth is that we are an extension of the highest. We are an extension of the divine source, whatever, however you want to identify it, God, the universe, source energy, whatever. But we are an extension of that light, of that divinity. But we come here and we're birthed into this world, and we're not even really conscious until we're 7 years old. So our belief systems are pretty much set in stone, and the way that we perceive life, so on and so forth, right? We're always influenced by, our parents and our teachers and pastors and aunts and uncles and our friend groups in middle school and high school and society. And we're conditioned to be and think a certain way. But we everything is perfect. Like, you can't fuck up is what I'm trying to say. Even though we can feel that way. Sorry, y'all, I had to exit out Slack. Not Slack killing the vibe, but it's what I was trying to say is that, like, it's just interesting how us as humans, the very much human part of us is so fearful of getting it wrong. But it's like the big joke is that we can't get it wrong. We really can't. And the only times that we really feel like we're slacking off and screwing it all up and whatever is when we're telling ourselves that we are. Hello. It's like we're telling ourselves these stories about us and about our lives, stories and rules that literally make no sense because we don't feel worthy of whatever goals or dreams or desires that we, want for ourselves in our lives. So, this message is for the person today who maybe, it's very up and down for you, but generally you're kind of just feeling a little stuck or lost in life. Maybe you feel like you're not where you quote unquote should be. I've been there, and here's what I have to say. So, again, going back to, you may feel stuck, you may feel lost, but the whole idea of I'm not where I feel like I should be really goes back to, again, the conditioning by society, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but in psychology, you learn about something called the social clock, okay? And the social clock is basically like culturally preferred timing of important transitions in life. So, the American social clock is basically like, it differs per culture, but I'm just going to go based off of American since that's my nationality. But in American culture, it's very much like, okay, you graduate high school, you go to college, you graduate college, you spend a fucking year to two trying to look for a job, you finally get a job, realize that you didn't even really need your degree for that. And obviously, guys, like, take this case by case. I don't want you guys to get offended, but this is, pretty much how it goes, right? Um, we feel unfulfilled. Maybe we like our job, maybe we hate our job, but it pays the bills. We're nearing around mid 20s, mid to late 20s, you get married, you start having kids, you whatever, and then it just goes on from there. You retire, and it's like that's kind of like the social clock, right? Now, again, guys, with all respect, this is going to vary in different cultures and societies that all have different values, right? And a lot of the times, this social clock that not only is perpetuated by society, but perpetuated by your own family, a lot of the times, just even the slight question of, oh, do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend yet? Or, oh, when do you guys think about having kids? Or, oh, when are you guys getting engaged? Just like, don't fucking ask me questions about that shit. I don't know, bro. I'm going with the flow of life. Okay. I thought about it. I'm good. This is what I'm focused on. As you guys can see, I have little stuff coming out. But um going back to what I was saying, right? It's even harder when your own family and maybe friend group, even though they may mean well, are just maybe not even like they don't may not even have bad intent, but it's just the questions may irritate you, right? Because it feels like that pressure, right? um and we deal with impartial pressures, and then like in your face pressures. What I mean by that is like when you can feel the energy of that pressure and it's kind of passive, and then when people just say to your face or ask you questions or nag you about whatever transition you whatever is culturally preferred for that transition in your life, right? And again, this can provide a lot of pressure in our lives, into ourselves, into our relationships. And this is where owning who you are, your choices as an adult, is huge, right? Because if you are not thinking about the things that, you know, are socially, timed, I guess you could say, there's nothing to feel bad about for that. And this is where, again, it goes back to feeling like I should be at this place in this time. Yeah, in comparison to a social clock, but social clocks are a social construct, but you don't have to follow that, right? It's hard, but do you want to live a life of freedom, or do you want to live a life of constantly trying to please others, right? So, going back to, feeling stuck or lost in life in general, I just turned 25. I know that I'm young as fuck, but 25 is like, I'm 5 years closer to 30. 30 is young as fuck. But I think no matter the age, no matter where you are in life, the more that you mature and year after year, time goes on, you see your parents start to age, you do really realize like life is temporary, life is short. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, for us to really, really appreciate life and slow down a little bit happens a lot of the times when we experience grief or death, right? Like, I know for me, like, those have been the moments in my life where I find myself the most appreciative and just wanting to kiss the ground and feel so grateful, right? But that doesn't have to happen for you to feel that way. And that's really what life is about. Life is about it's about the journey. It's not about the milestones. Like, we live for the milestones. We live for the new job. We live for the gender reveals. We live for the weddings. We live for, all that beautiful social stuff. And they're amazing because they're huge milestones in life, but all the in between, there's so much beauty in the in between. That's where life really happens, is in the in between. And so much times we're trying to rush that in between because we feel like getting to another place in our life, achieving another thing in our life, or whatever is going to bring us happiness. It's going to bring us clarity. It's going to bring us peace. And why do we as humans ever want something anyway? Because we think it's going to make us feel something. We buy the gym fit because we know that we feel like it will make us feel more happy, more confident, more motivated. Yes, temporarily. And then, in a couple months, you'll want a new gym fit, right? Why do we buy something off of TikTok that looks really cool? Because we think that buying it is going to make us feel a certain type of way, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. You know, it's true, we're humans. It's okay in moderation, as with all things, to like allow for that, right? But what I'm trying to say is, ask yourself, what do I believe this whatever is going to make me feel, right? Like when you think, I want to XYZ because then I will be able to what blank, enter the blank, whatever the fuck, right? So here's an example. I want to build my own business because I want financial freedom, because I believe financial freedom will make me happy and, bring me peace. Yeah, right? But if you are looking to, what I'm trying to say is, it's okay to want that, right? But if you are only waiting to step into that next chapter to feel that, you will always be chasing the next thing. So, how can I feel that peace? How can I feel that security? How can I feel that love, or whatever it is that you're seeking out? How can I self-source that? What I mean by self-source is, how can I get that from myself now? Because I'll tell you guys right now, I quit my 9 to 5 job, my very secure, very I liked it as well. It was an awesome job. I made pretty good money for my age. And it I quit that job and I fulfilled my passion full time, and it has brought me financial freedom. It has brought me, freedom of time. But it's like I practice gratitude for that every day, but I'm already focused on the next thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you reach one goal and you're focused on the next thing immediately. So it's like you don't want to trade up one rat race for another, and that can apply for anything in life, right? You think, maybe if I make more money, then I will, feel more secure. Not if you don't feel safe when the money comes in your bank. I'll tell you right now, because when I first started to bring in, a lot more income, I would definitely find the quickest way to spend it, because I subconsciously didn't feel safe with that. So bringing it back on track, right? When we feel stuck in life, what do we mean by that? A lot of times, these are my own interpretations, and I would love to hear what you guys think and what resonates with you. But I know, like, when I feel stuck in my life, that usually means that there is low energy, stagnant energy. Think of water when it stills over time, right? Bacteria and mold kind of grows, right? Movement is life. Movement is medicine, metaphorically and literally. So, like, literal movement, like getting up, moving your body, going on walks, getting sunshine, like, and then I think movement mentally, like feeling mentally stimulated, not like fake dopamine hits from TikTok, but feeling really mentally stimulated, like learning something new, or getting a new role in your job, or getting out of your comfort zone, or starting a new fitness journey. Like, well, you're never, you know what I mean with that, but movement there as well. That a lot of times can make us feel stuck, is when we're kind of just not really doing anything, and we're not making any moves, because we're kind of either, paralyzed into fear, or we are stuck in stress mode, right? Like, sometimes stuck can really mean that we are stuck in some type of fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode, right? We can get stuck, frozen, like, it's called paralysis by analysis, right? You're consumed with subconscious overthinking and fear, that we're overwhelmed into procrastination, putting the things off that we know will make us feel good off, like putting them off out of fear or overwhelm or discomfort. And by the way, guys, overwhelm really is discomfort. Overwhelm is fear. And I have a whole podcast. If you scroll down on my podcast channel, I have a whole episode around how to transmute overwhelm into action. And it's super fucking lit. So I highly recommend listening to that. But overwhelm is fear. Okay. Overwhelm is discomfort. It's like you are overwhelmed by your paralyzation almost. So, some ways to get unstuck in that sense, if you're feeling stuck energetically, if you feel just overwhelmed that you feel like you can't even make the next move because you feel like you just don't have the capacity, you are stuck in freeze mode, right? And when you're stuck in freeze mode, what you need to do is you need to feel safe in your body, right? So some things you can do to feel a little bit more safe is, different types of grounding methods. Okay, so the first couple of things is breath work. Okay, this is literally just bringing your attention to your breath and literally practicing controlling and managing your breath to control and manage your energy. Breath is life. Okay, emotions are energy in motion. And when we feel something within our body and we are not processing it, it gets stuck. And that's what creates that blocked energy. So if you're stuck in freeze mode, you need to take some time to clear your mind. Go out in nature, get grounded, take a day with no technology, call out of work for fuck's sake if you need to. I know you're probably thinking, Lexi, I got bills to pay. I feel you, girl, but you need some time for yourself, okay? So I promise you, the universe will support you, okay? You are supported no matter what. So, whatever, take a day, no technology, just vibes, and allow yourself to recharge, allow yourself to regroup, allow yourself to get your thoughts together and really reflect and think about your priorities. What is fucking you up in life right now? Is it lack of organization? Is it putting too much on your plate and serving everybody else and leaving nothing for you? If so, something's got to change, or you're going to be stuck in this freeze mode and you're going to get to the end of your life thinking, what the fuck? Okay. So, breath work, meditation. An easy rule of thumb for breath work is called the box method. Is when you inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds, wait 4 seconds. Super easy way. Do it like 4 to 5 times, and you'll immediately start to feel more grounded. Okay. If you are in fight mode is almost like you're just constantly going, and you're constantly just going until you absolutely break down. And get into panic attacks, and your nervous system just absolutely breaks down. You're just on hustle mode, you're kind of manic about it even. That's when you're like in fight mode, right? And then flight is, of course, escapism, just ignoring your problems, escapism, uh, numbing, avoiding people who can help you, avoiding support, avoiding just everything, and, self sabotaging in that sense. So the fight, flight, freeze responses are really there to protect us, right? But they don't serve us if we don't know how to manage them, right? So, if you're feeling stuck in life, I want you to ask yourself and take inventory. One, first off, I want you to look at the past 3 years or even the past year and take some time to actually reflect on how much you've grown as a person. Because again, a lot of the times we can measure our life in terms of milestones or big achievements, right? And we put all of our value and worth in that because that's where we get the most recognition, attention, all of that. But if you were to look at yourself a year ago from now, right? Or, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, how have you changed? How have the things that you've gone through helped you change and grow as a person? Like, actually take inventory of that, because I'm pretty sure, like, if you're listening to this right now, like, you are into self-development, you're into spirituality, you're into inner work. So you most likely have grown a lot if you can actually sit down and take inventory of it and give yourself that grace, that kudos. Okay? So take some time to take inventory of that, reflect on how much you've actually grown as a person, right? And write a list, like, actually, like, sit down, like, that'll be your homework, is to sit down and really make it a vibe, and just journal. You can do it on your laptop, your iPad, your notebook, whatever, piece of paper, and just voice memo, whatever works best for you, and just talk about how you've grown, the changes that you've made in your life, because I'm sure you have. Now, after you kind of take inventory of your growth so far, ask yourself, what isn't serving you? What type of habits, ways of living, ways of thinking are contributing to your stress, to your depression, to your anxiety? Is it people in your life that you absolutely need to cut off or distance yourself from, that are draining your energy? Is it your habits, like as simple as staying up really late on TikTok and TV, waking up early first thing in the morning, going on your phone, and then just always feeling like you're comparing your life to other people, that you're not where you should be? And that's another big part, guys. If you feel stuck or lost in life, please be careful how much you're comparing your life to others, because on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, everybody's always going to show their highlight reel. All the get ready with me's that you watch, all the gym get ready with me's, and the clean my house with me vlogs with all the beautiful kitchens, and how I make this much money as an online fucking 21-year-old in Dubai. I don't know. Like, all this shit is highlight, okay? And we scroll a lot, like, especially if this is a bad habit of yours, you're scrolling so much. Of course, you're going to compare yourself subconsciously. Even it's okay to get inspiration or motivation from people. I love getting inspiration from people. It's my favorite thing, because I know that if they can do it, I can do it too. And I like to manifest through other people as well, like if they have my dream home or whatever. But ultimately, whether you like it or not, you will be subconsciously comparing your life to theirs, yourself to them, no matter what. So just be careful of that and really take that with a grain of salt. Um, and be careful with your comparison, your social media. And maybe that's something that when you take inventory of what is holding you back, what is not serving you, what is contributing to feeling stuck or lost or down on yourself, then there's some things to change there, to work through. And it's not going to happen overnight, guys. You got to give yourself fucking time, man, to grow, to heal. It took me years to work through stuff, constantly oscillating between doing quote unquote really really good and then falling back to old habits, and then getting really really good again and falling back to old habits. And it's this oscillating effect, but over time, the time that you are going back and forth, it lengthens and lengthens and lengthens, in the sense of, like, it gets farther and farther apart. You start to do it less and less and less. But if every single time you fall back to old habits, you beat yourself up, you tell yourself, "Oh shit, I haven't been doing this," and you create a bunch of guilt and shame. Well, then you're arguing with reality, because it's already happened. And again, the universe is perfect. Everything, every habit, every choice that has led you to where you are right now is fucking perfect. Absolutely perfect. You can't fuck up. That's the beautiful part. You can't fuck up. Okay? What happens is, when we experience contrast in life, contrast is basically the opposite of, like, let's just say, great happy go lucky feelings and days, right? Like, let's say you just have neutral days, you have really really happy, really exciting, fun days, and the contrasting experience of a happy whatever day would be a not so happy day, right? A gloomy day. But when we experience contrast, falling off track, feeling like we're slacking off, falling back to old habits, being a couch potato for 2 weeks on end, whatever it is, the things that make you feel guilty, we label it as bad. We quote unquote should ourselves to death and define our worth and value based on what is perceived to be worthy or value, which is maybe being super productive or waking up early or being married by a certain age or making a lot of money or whatever it is, right? And because we label these things and we define our worthiness based on our productivity, again, I have a whole podcast about that in the beginning. Just scroll down, look for it, you'll find it. Then we're doing ourselves a disservice. Because guess what, guys? Contrast is a part of life. Ups, highs can't exist without the lows. You can't have the valleys without the peaks, day without night, masculine without feminine, positive without negative. They coexist and they actually work together, yin and yang. They work together so that way you can experience emotions. How would it feel to just achieve everything you wanted right now? Right now. You would get it all. And one, you may not even know what to do with yourself, which is why a lot of lottery winners blow it all, right? And the body that you wanted right now, everything. You wouldn't appreciate it. You wouldn't value it. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself. And this is why the journey is so important and so beautiful, right? Now, I'm not saying it's okay to be lazy, right? Oh, it's okay if you sock off for fucking 2 months. Like, that's okay. It's perfect. Yes. But what I'm saying is that you can't fuck up. When I talk about contrasting experiences, an example of this would be, let's say Lexi is her my goal is really to get healthy, live a healthy lifestyle. I really want to feel fit. I really want to feel confident in my skin and in my body. I really want to have a healthy relationship with food. And that's my goal. That's what I'm working towards long term. And then let's say I have 2 weekends in a row where I binge eat. I fall back to old habits. I fall back to old patterns. Me binge eating is actually an opportunity, although it doesn't feel good, is an opportunity for me to go, okay, what went wrong here? Where, what triggered this? Right? It's because let's say maybe I binge ate because I restricted. Okay. Then I know because I restricted, this is what's triggering my binge eating. So I need to start having more food freedom. I need to stop with the food rules. I need to stop telling myself I can't have something. And I need to start allowing myself to just eat what the fuck I want. And obviously get in enough protein, carbs, and fats. Maybe work with a coach so that way I can do it the right way and do that, right? I don't know if that was the best example, but a better example would be maybe, okay, like let's say you really want to feel energized, you want to feel good in your skin, you want to feel fit and healthy, and then you fall after like 4 weeks of staying consistent, you fall off for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you start to feel like shit, you feel icky. That contrasting experience allows you to understand that what you really want is that you want to feel good, right? And what I'm trying to say is sometimes you have to like fuck up enough times and go back to that pain in order to remember why you desire what it is that you desire, why you are, wanting this in your life. I hope that made sense, guys. You let me know. If not, I'm so sorry because I feel like this is kind of like an advanced thing. Maybe not. I don't know. But I feel like sometimes when I talk about words like contrast, and I don't want you guys to feel like, what is she talking about? I try my best to explain. But regardless, guys, I hope y'all know what the basis of what I'm trying to say is. Okay. Um, and if you're feeling lost, understand that being lost isn't all a bad thing. It's actually quite adventurous if you look at it from a different sense. Instead of looking at it like I'm lost and stuck at life, what if we were to look at it instead of uncertainty as a clear canvas to create or design the life that you want, that you desire? Okay. I hope this message found you well. Again, I would love to hear your feedback. Share it with a friend if it made any impact. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.